events, and the just terrible stuff that he did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That show was just so. There's just nothing. I mean, like, context is everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the '80s, that show was such a revelation, especially for Black Americans. It was, you know, like there was nothing like it. I mean, you know, you had Good Times, but Good Times was sort of like not perpetuating a public persona, but it was sort of. And the Cosby Show just broke that open, you know.
Yeah.
Showing this family who was well off in the suburbs and who lived a happy life, and they didn't have to, you know, they weren't worried about their lights getting turned off or struggling. And I don't know, I'm like halfway through the first season and I'm really enjoying it. And it's a complicated thing, and you know, in some cases you can separate the art from the artist, and in others, you know, in the case of someone like Woody Allen, you can't, because so much of his art is him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been watching that. I've been watching... what else have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of stuff on the Criterion, which is like a super cinephile, artsy-fartsy streaming service, and they have a lot of Japanese films and stuff like that. So I've been watching a bunch of that stuff too. So.
Very nice. I have two questions for you. One is kind of unrelated, but kind of related because it just was released on Criterion, I think, last year. Have you checked out Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai yet?
I know Jim Jarmusch is a blind spot. Oh, actually, no. I saw The Dead Don't Die, and I fucking hate it.
You didn't like it?
No, but I do need to dig more into Jim Jarmusch. I heard that Ghost Dog is really great.
Yeah, I think you'll love that one. And for what it's worth, The Dead Don't Die, I was really let down by it too. It seems like one big inside joke that we're not let in on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's that one was kind of jarring the entire way through. Like, where's this going? And then it really doesn't go anywhere. And then my second question is, if you had to pick for black sitcoms, do you prefer The Cosby Show or Family Matters?
I was never a big Family Matters guy, so I gotta go with The Cosby Show.
Okay. And do you have any thoughts on them releasing Cosby?
Oh wow! So we're really gonna get into this, huh? Okay. Well, I'm not. Okay.
If you don't want to answer, that's fine. We can move on.
No. I'm trying to formulate the words. And it's not because I'm conflicted, because obviously he has done really, really bad things and should be in jail. The grounds on which he is released seem like it's within legal reason, because there's stuff about statute of limitations, and a bunch of the cases that they convicted him on are like 30 years old, and I guess I believe, I could be wrong, the statute for sexual assault is like 7 years or something like that. So but again, I could be wrong because I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know that much about the law outside of the stuff I see on Law and Order. But should he be released? Probably not. You know, he's a bad dude. And that may sound hypocritical because I'm watching the show, but that's the life.
I got you. No worries. And I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that one.
No. I know it's all on me, because I brought up the fact that I was watching the Cosby Show. So it's all on me.
All right. Was that it for your Rex then?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, for this episode, I think I've only watched one newer film. I got to see, I went to see Nick Cage's Pig, finally.
Oh, okay.
And, it's...
live up to the hype?
I'm really, for this one, I'm really conflicted, right? Because I went into it expecting something a little different, and it's like the other side of the spectrum as far as film goes. Is it beautifully shot? Yes. Does it feel like an A24 film? Yes. Is Nick Cage great in it? Yes. I do not understand the comparisons between this and John Wick, or people accusing this film's premise of ripping off John Wick, because it really does not whatsoever. It is extremely art house, I will say that.
Okay.
I think this is the type of film that maybe you probably only have to experience once, if that makes any sense at all.
Right.
But obviously I'm recommending it, so I would say give it a watch. And if anybody out there listens to this and they actually do go watch it, let me know what you think. There's
a lot of people who there's a bunch of people that listen to your podcast.
Yeah. I hope so.
I'm sure they'll go see it. I'm sure they'll go see it. How does it compare to something like what was that movie that he did in 2018? It was
Mandy? Mandy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Is it sort of like that in terms of?
Yeah, it's
and the vibe and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of slow burn in nature. It's not quite as there was like this heavy metal element to Mandy, and because you have Pathos Cosmatos, I believe is the director's name was, who is just a wild fucking director. So that one is a lot more intense compared to Pig, but I think it falls in line with Cage. Going with the niche kind of his niche cult films, like he does better. He does better in that aspect, and
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like he's found his zone.
Yes.
I feel like he's done the Oscar thing. He's done the sort of I'm trying to be a matinee idol / leading man thing with stuff like Face Off and Con Air and The Rock, and then he had that terrible period of family films with Sorcerer's Apprentice and G-Force, and now he's just like, I'm just going to do small budget, $20 million less type of weird genre films, and I think he's found his niche. Yeah,
I completely agree. I mean, I really loved, as silly a premise as it is, the Willy's Wonderland was great. The color out of space, I think it's called that, and it's
yes, like I started that.
That one,
I had to finish.
Yeah, that one's really good. I think, and I don't know. Are you gonna see Pig anytime soon, or do you want to?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I think I'll see it.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Alex Wolff, who is his co-star. That guy's always really good. He hasn't done a whole lot of films, but everything he's done, I think so far, he's done a really good job as far as his acting chops. So shout out to Alex Wolff.
Yeah, he's in Hereditary, right?
Yes, he is the son or the brother. He's also in My Friend Dahmer. He's really good in that one. I don't know if you saw that one yet. Yeah. So everybody out there, check out Pig. If you like artsy films, or I think it's from Neon. So check it out.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so we're talking about Copland. It's from 1997. It's a crime drama. It runs at 1 hour and 57 minutes, and it's got a 75 on Rotten. It was written and directed by James Mangold, starring Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Michael Rapport, Robert De Niro, Robert Patrick, Janine Garofalo.
It stars every fucking body. Just say it stars every goddamn...
Yeah.
Every goddamn character actor of the 90s is in this movie.
Yeah.
All of them.
Peter Berg,
Insane.
Kathy Morady, Debbie Harry, Malik Yoba, and Noah Emmerich. The film is centered around a small town in Garrison, New Jersey, which is inhabited by corrupt cops. When hero police officer Murray Babbage kills a couple of young African-American men, an elaborate plan is hatched within the town to overshadow the crime, and a tale of redemption for the local sheriff, Freddie Heflin, is set into motion. Copland was the debut of acclaimed filmmaker James Mangold, who most may know from his work on Logan, 3:10 to Yuma, Girl Interrupted, Identity, Walk the Line, and most recently, Ford versus Ferrari. Although the film is completely fiction, he came up with the concept because of the experiences while growing up in Washingtonville, New York, a place where many law enforcement families resided at the time. With the film being produced on a shoestring budget, it's absolutely wild the amount of talent they locked down in this picture. Besides Stallone, who is in a lot of ways the standout in the film for playing against type, having just came off a slew of critically panned work, every other actor in this was a heavy hitter at the time, with Ray Liotta and De Niro being linked to Scorsese and Keitel with Tarantino. The tension is high as everyone seems to ooze authenticity while on screen. Howard Shore's score is also a fascinating highlight as it creates an unsettling ambiance in the background for what turns out to be a neo-noir western. The film plays with various themes that involve the blue world of cops and their ways of operating outside the law they are sworn to uphold. In the film, we see racial profiling, excessive force, arson, sexism, murder, and most importantly, the idea that silence is violence. The film has grown a loyal cult following over the 20-plus years since its release and remains all too relevant within the context of today's standards. Give it a watch now on Pluto TV if you don't already own it. Thank you.
Great. A great estimation. So this movie is one that I've really been wanting to talk about, especially given the recent events with cops and communities and stuff like that. I just find this movie so interesting in how it really exploits. Well, that's not actually true. It showcases the conflict in between the cop system itself and how to tie this to actual events, and I hope that this doesn't turn people off. During the George Floyd protests and when all those and when the video of him being killed was shown around, there was a lot of talk about the complacency of those. I think it was like 5 or 4 other cops who just kind of stood there and didn't do anything or didn't try to stop the cop who was committing the murder.
Yes.
And, it's not exactly I guess it is a kind of a one-to-one comparison, because here you have a cop who kills 2 non-armed black guys, and the complacency of Sylvester Stallone and the actively willingness of the police department to try and cover this up and shoo it away as quickly as possible is astounding. And there's that great scene right off the bat. This film tells you what kind of movie it is, because there's that great scene where Robert Patrick is trying to plant the gun inside the guy's car who Michael Rappaport killed. And